Hey, you want to make some money by winning a bet? Here's what you do. Take a little container, fill it with water, take a coin and drop it in, and then wager someone that you can take out that coin with your fingers without getting them wet. And no, tweezers are not allowed. It really has to be with your fingers. Here's what you do. You get yourself some Lycopodium powder, which are the spores of a kind of moss, and you sprinkle that spores on top of the water. And you'll notice that they spread out over the top because they are hydrophobic. That is, they don't interact with water, they form a layer on top. And when you reach through that layer, it will coat your fingers. So I'm reaching through the layer, coating the fingers. I can take out the coin, brush off the Lycopodium powder, and my fingers are as dry as ever. That's pretty interesting. But there's more to Lycopodium powder. Oh, what more? How about this? A flame and Lycopodium powder. Want to see that again? Of course you do. Sometimes you can buy this in gift shops. Dragon's breath is what they call it. But there's some interesting chemistry going on here. The particles are so small that they're surrounded by lots of air. And air, of course, contains about 20% oxygen, and oxygen is necessary for combustion. It's the same science behind flour mill explosions. When you have any kind of fine dust in the presence of air, it can explode with just a little bit of spark. Something else that is interesting. Way back in the 1800s, Frenchman Niepce or Niepce noted that you could make an internal combustion engine with Lycopodium powder. This was the first ever internal combustion engine, long before gasoline. And he found that when you injected Lycopodium powder into this engine, sparked it, it exploded, that could push a piston, and even built a boat that ran on a river in France. Interesting history there. But finally, there's something more about Lycopodium powder. It is used by homeopaths as a medication. Now, homeopathy is a 200-year-old practice which has no scientific basis. The idea is that a substance that can cause a symptom in a healthy person can cure those symptoms in a sick person when it is diluted. Now, homeopaths say that there are people who have what they call a Lycopodium personality. What does that mean? It means that some people are calm on the outside, but when they get angry, they burst with anger, just like Lycopodium powder. And they have special anger fits between 4 and 8 p.m. What is their treatment? Their treatment is like cures like, so Lycopodium powder as a homeopathic remedy. Of course, it doesn't even contain any Lycopodium powder because it is diluted to the extent that there's not a single molecule of the original left in there. So it is total nonsense. What about the Lycopodium personality? Well, I don't know. I may have that because, I may seem calm on the outside, but when it comes to talking about homeopathy, I get angry, just like that burst. And it's not only between 4 and 8 p.m.